actually, let's kind of recap a little bit on what happened in Budapest. And I remember back in 2022, MileSplit took a deeper dive into the class of 2016. And as we thought at that moment in time, we thought that this was the best graduating class ever. In that 2016 class, you had Anna Cockrell, Chris Nilsen, Bryce Hoppel, Noah Lyles, Vashti Cunningham, and Grant Holloway, who all competed at the World Championships. Some of them even brought medals home as well. So, Ashley, what are our takeaways from this recruiting class specifically?
Well, I have to say, whatever y'all were doing in 2022, like you were right on. You know, you predicted, hey, this is the best recruiting class. I think you can solidly say that's probably the best class we've ever seen for high school track and field. You know, if you're looking at, you know, you listed off, you know, names like Lyles and Holloway. They're both now multi-time world champions now after competing in Budapest this past weekend. And then, you know, you look too at, you know, Nilsen, Cockrell, Hoppel, Cunningham. They also were all world finalists. So every single person you listed there made the finals for their event at World Championships with that, which I think is like pretty crazy to think that, like, you know, just, let's see, 2020, 23, it's been 7 years.
Yeah.
So they only graduated high school 7 years ago, and now they're like the best in the world at their events. It's pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah, and I just want to stick to Noah Lyles really briefly because I feel like he just showcased so much dominance. The fact that he earned the triple, the big three, the 100, which a lot of people were talking about him not winning. And I must say, and I spoke with Gordon about this, Gordon kind of was like, I don't know about this, Liv, but I was like, the way how he looked in his semifinal rounds looked absolutely incredible. He looked strong. He looked ready to go. And to see him execute that and get the hardest one out of the way, Ashley, I was like, Noah Lyles is the guy.
Yeah.
He's the fastest sprinter on the planet.
I'll say, I did not expect it either. I wasn't sure how that 100 would go, but then the fact that, I mean, like you said, after that 100, it was smooth sailing because, you know, he was the favorite in the 200, and then that 4x1 was like a piece of cake for them there at the end. So,
yeah,
I mean, he's the guy. He's the guy to look for right now in track and field.
Exactly. And he was able to defend his 200-meter title, which was, for him, his bread and butter. Grant Holloway, which we're huge fans of Grant Holloway. I love that guy. He won his third consecutive world title in the 110s, which is super remarkable.
Crazy.
Chris Nilsen, bronze medal there. Anna Cockrell, I was so proud of her.
Yes.
Finishing 5th overall in the 400-meter hurdle race and had a 53-second personal best. Bryce Hoppel, the lone American in that 800-meter final, and then Vashti finishing in the top in the world there in the high jump. It just showed true dominance. So I think we were right, like you said, back in 2002. I think we were spot on. Class of 2016 just did fantastic there. Now, kind of speaking more on the high school side, we had two high schoolers. One of them graduated, going to be going to Washington. I'm talking about Hannah Moll and then a Deja Hodge in the sprint. So what can you say about Hannah Moll's performances?
Yeah, speaking on Hannah Moll, I think we can all come away from this being like, man, the fact that she's only 18 years old and she made her first ever senior team in an event that has, you know, over the past few years been really strong for the U.S., the women's pole vault. And not only does she make the team, she makes the finals and she clears a new high school national record, an American U20 record of 15.3. Like, I think
ridiculous.
My mind was blown, you know? And it's like, I think it's just a testament to, like, you know, she's been through this whole long outdoor season, you know, that started back, I believe they opened up their seasons at Texas Relays.
Yeah.
And, you know, she's gone all the way from Texas Relays to then the world stage in Budapest, and she's, you know, still competing at this high level. I think that's a testament to just how good she is, and puts it more into perspective how good it is to, you know, clear 15 feet as a high schooler, not, you know, let alone 15.3. So yeah, that was pretty mind-blowing.
All right, I have a tough question for you because I feel like once we saw Hannah Cunliffe's sister break the high pole vault record, every year since then the record has gone down. Now the mark is 15.3, and I can't even wrap my head around how high that is. Do you think we're going to continue to see this trend in the pole vault on the women's side?
Oh, that's such a good question. Because part of me wants to say that this is almost like a unicorn moment, you know, the Moll sister, Hannah and Amanda Moll, both the sisters, they both cleared 15 feet. I want to say that may stay for a while just because, you know, obviously we're seeing girls clear over 14 feet now, and it's really raised the bar, I think, for pole vault in high school, especially for the girls, but who knows? I could be wrong, but I'll say for now that this will stay for a few years, and we'll see what happens.
I know, it's just so hard to even think about 15.3, and then Hannah looked great.
She did.
In Budapest.
Yep.
Like, she looked strong, and the fact that she gained that experience, and the fact that you did it as an 18-year-old, like graduating high school, senior, about to start college, doing that at the senior level.
I was gonna say, competing against grown women, you know, like and
Remarkable.
More than holding her own.
Remarkable. All right, 1 year younger than her is a Deja Hodge, 17-year-old representing the British Virgin Islands. I also feel like she just had a remarkable season. And I think we can all agree this has been very long for her. I feel like she's been training, I don't even know, probably end of September, October, and it's, what day is it? You know, end of August, and the fact that she had the season that she did, saw all-time marks in the 200 meters indoor, breaking the U18 and the world U20 record, to then just earning a New Balance national outdoor title in that 200. She finished the season, I felt like, on a great note. She has something to be proud of. 22.82 in the prelims and then 22.96 in the semis. Like, after a long season, the fact that you made it to the semifinal round at the senior level, and like, she had some heavy hitters. She had Sha'Carri Richardson, Gabby Thomas,
she's
Shrika
competing against like some of the fastest women alive right now.
Yes.
And I thought it was funny, you know, speaking on like, it's been a long season for her. I believe I was watching her post-race interview, and someone was like, so what's the plan now? Get some rest? And she was like, oh, I hope my coach gives me like 2 months off right now. So she's like, I need some rest. So and I think she deserves it. After that.
She definitely deserves 2 months rest. Okay, I want to talk about the 1500. This was a very interesting race as a whole, but specifically in that race, we had a Norwegian. I'm not talking about Ingeborg.
The Netherlands.
Netherlands, excuse me. Not, in my head I was thinking Norway. Niels Laros.
Yeah.
3:31.25. And the thing is, he's 18 years old. National record.
That's insane.
How is that even possible?
I don't know. Like, I think we can all agree here that Laros is pretty insane. Again, think about this. He is 18 years old. He is not, you know, competed at, like, any other level besides, you know, more at, like, that youth level. And he's been a young gentleman competing against all these older guys who have, you know, they've had multiple years of either collegiate or pro training too underneath their belts, which I think is something I think that's pretty crazy for distance running. You know, to put it in perspective, right? Like, this season, Simeon Birnbaum in the U.S. for U.S. high schoolers had like an insane season, one of the best seasons we've ever seen for a high school distance athlete in the U.S. His 1500 meter best, which I believe put him at U.S. number 2 all time for the event in the U.S., was 3:37.
Yes.
That's 6 seconds faster.
And you know what's ridiculous about that is that was en route to a 4:02 mile at Nike Outdoor National. So my next question, just thinking about Birnbaum, like, I wonder how fast he would have went if like the 1500 was like the end.
Or actually, that 3:37 did come in the pro, so he competed.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
But so I guess, but still, like, if you have to think about it, that was also after. Earlier in that week, he won the 2 mile at Brooks PR.
Yes.
So think about it, like, kind of on the same premise. Like, what if he had ran that 1500 completely fresh? Like, how fast could he be?
That's wild. And oh man, and I'm seeing this 3:31, and I'm like, goodness gracious, national record for the Netherlands, just huge, absolutely huge. And
what's with the kids these days?
What's with the kids? We saw a lot of, like, even in the was it the 10K? No, 5K.
5K. The girl from Latvia. The
19 years old. Just taking it out.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, goodness gracious.
Man, the kids, they're just, you know, the younger, they're getting even better. Like, the younger they are now.
I know.